4,000 years ago, God made a promise, but this wasn't just any promise. This was a covenant sealed in blood. So let me show you what just happened. Genesis chapter 15. God tells Abraham, "Bring me a heifer, a goat, a ram, a turtle dove, and a pigeon." And Abraham does it. He cuts them in half and he arranges the pieces. Now, here's what you need to understand about ancient covenants. When two parties made a covenant in the ancient world, they would walk between cut up animal pieces. It was like signing a contract in blood. And walking through meant, if I break this promise, may what happened to these animals happen to me. And then both parties walk through, both take the oath, and both bear the responsibility. But in Genesis 15, Abraham falls asleep, and God, as a smoking furnace, as a burning torch, walks through the pieces alone. So, do you understand what that means? God took the curse on himself if the covenant ever failed. God said, if this promise breaks, let me be torn apart. Abraham didn't promise to be faithful to God. God promised to be faithful to Abraham, unconditionally, no matter what. And where did God fulfill that oath? On a Roman cross 2,000 years later outside Jerusalem. God was torn apart for a broken covenant, just like he promised. The covenant God made with Abraham in Genesis 15, it was fulfilled in Matthew 27. And this isn't two different stories, it's one story. The story of a God who keeps his promises, even when it costs him everything. And here's what's wild. When you make temple covenants, you're entering into this covenant, the Abrahamic covenant, the covenant God sealed with his own blood. And that's why we can trust him, not because we're faithful, but because he is. So I break down the full ancient Near East context, the Hebrew meanings of words like kārat, berît, and how this connects to the atonement in my 30-minute deep dive video on the subject of the Abrahamic covenant. So the link is in the description or connected below. Because once you've heard and understood Genesis 15, you're never going to read the cross the same way again. Because this is a covenant story. So it's your covenant story. So take a minute and come listen with me.
You said remember, and by the sky will rain, colors like a promise arcing over pain. You said remember, and trace your name in stone, mercy in the margin where the law is known. You set a table in the desert wind, the love that keeps a story when we start again. A covenant is not a chain, it's a hand in mine. Steadfast love that teaches hearts to shine. I will be your God, you will be my people. Write it on our hearts like fire in a steeple.